That angry mob down the road won, Arsenal 4. And fucking hell, I did not realise we needed a result like that. 4-1 against your biggest rivals, not once, but twice this season. And hopefully, here's praying, here's hoping, here's praying that we take this win as a foundation for moving forward in the Premier League and getting wins. We don't have an easy game next. We have, or at least not in the Premier League. We have Chelsea, I believe. Double checking that one. Sorry. Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. Okay, so by March, yes, we have Chelsea at home, and that won't be an easy game. They did drop points against Burnley, but just as equally, we dropped points against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But however, for today, talking about Tottenham, I don't think people realise how close St. Totteringham's Day is. Let's look at this, the Premier League. In the Premier League, right, we have 61 points. Spurs, they have 29 points. Obviously, they've got the extra game. And that extra game, if Spurs won every single game going forward this season, they could finish on 62 points. So, if we just get a win against Chelsea, or if Tottenham lose, then it's happy St. Tottenham's Day come next week. And that's the kind of thing that we like to see. St. Tottenham's Day early, when there's only 10 or so games left to play for Tottenham. It's a very early position for that to happen. But on top of that, however, we still need to focus on ourselves more than Tottenham. St. Tottenham's Day will be great, don't get me wrong. We'd love to see it. But what I'd love to see more than anything else is Arsenal lifting the Premier League trophy. And after seeing those kind of results that we had against Nottingham Forest, against Wolves, against Brentford, and Brentford I can semi-understand, but you can see why we dropped those points, why we ended up with draws that we really shouldn't be having. We haven't lost a game now since the Man United game. If we bring it up in full, that's only 3 losses. That's 7 draws, and those 7 draws. Let's not have a repeat of last season where we had, I believe it was 14 draws, something like that. Because that is what cost us the league at the end of the day. However, where we are right now, as things stand, 5 points clear. Obviously, Man City have got the game in hand, but the further we distance ourselves from Man City, we've seen that City can drop points. Now, they might be on good form right now, but they can drop points. And if we're hoping they can drop points, but more than anything else, focus on ourselves, and we'll win the league. We still have, of course, the advantage everywhere else. Of course, even if Man City played the same amount of games and won, we would still be 2 points clear. And it's not a lot. It is not a lot whatsoever. And you can see how the referees are handling the likes of Arsenal compared to Man City. And you can see the kind of favours that they're doing for Man City and the problems that are being caused with Arsenal. Because this referee today was an absolute shambles of a referee. Seriously, the amount of times that I saw Gyökeres getting grabbed, getting held back when he's meant to be turning around, and possibly even having an opportunity to go at goal, that was embarrassing from the referee. But you think about how high Gyökeres would have been rated if that wasn't happening, if the referee just did his job and gave those fouls. But you also look at what happened with Newcastle, and Newcastle really should have got something from that game. First of all, I think it was Bernardo Silva who should have got sent off, and I am going to stand by that. That should have been a second yellow card. And also the fact that Dan Burn was pushed in an offside position, that should be a foul. You'd give that foul anywhere else on the pitch. So that should have been a penalty barest minimum. But it's what we call, Man City anyways, it's what Man City like to call dark arts. And of course, with dark arts, you can only really pin dark arts on Arsenal, apparently. But no one's going to talk about that. You won't see it on punditry, you won't see it from fans, because it's Man City. Man City are the most protected club in all of England right now. But with Arsenal, we've extended our goal difference to 35 now compared to Man City's 31, so that's always good, especially if it comes down to it. Not that I think it will, but still. And we have got another difficult game that we can get out the way next week against Chelsea. And if we can beat Chelsea, if we beat Chelsea and get that difficult game out the way, you can look at the only real game that would probably frighten me as a fan is Man City, because I've seen Man City in form right now, especially later on in the season. And I am praying to God that we do not give them more respect than they deserve. Because if we do that, I am going to cry. As for Liverpool as well, point to make here, Liverpool did us absolutely no favours whatsoever. I did say Liverpool should have taken one for the team. They couldn't do that, of course. And now Nottingham Forest, they could have been on 30 points if Liverpool did us a favour. Or the barest minimum, 28 points. Now they're on 27. The distance between 16th and 17th hasn't changed. However, West Ham, I don't know who West Ham have in the next few games, but West Ham are picking up points and they're slowly moving up to Spurs. And if Spurs keep getting these points taken from them, they very well could get relegated. Or barest minimum, finish so far down in the league that they don't really get anything from it. And both scenarios are absolutely catastrophic for them. And I can see it happening. I'm sorry, Spurs, but I can see it happening. But there's more to talk about as well in that game. You can talk about Eze, for example. And I need to know now, when Tottenham were trying to get Eze as their player, how bad was their proposition that Eze's decided to hate them this much? 5 goals against Tottenham in 2 North London derbies. What did they say that made him so upset against them? I thought he was gonna get a hat-trick when I saw that he scored that second goal. But then you've also got Gyökeres, and Gyökeres had an absolutely astounding performance. As I say, if the referee just did his job and actually gave the fouls for Gyökeres being held back every time he went forward, could you imagine how much more this could have been? We could have been walking away at half-time. We should have really walked away, bare minimum, at half-time, with at least 1 goal ahead. We should have done that, but look, the person who was saying focus was the one who dropped focus. And I'll be fair with Rice. Rice doesn't often make those mistakes. But today, that mistake could have cost us. We're lucky that in that second half, Tottenham didn't do anything. I don't think they did anything all game, really. That game should have ended 4-5-0. But I digress. And let's move on now to the player ratings. And I'm going to start off in goal is David Raya. And David Raya did nothing wrong in that entire game. I can't think of a single mistake that he made. He caught the ball. The only time when he conceded the goal was when it wasn't even his fault. He couldn't really do anything about it. But when the ball went through his legs and he saved it by his fingertips, that is worthy of praise. David Raya, I'm giving an 8. Solid performance from him. Urian Timber. I thought Urian Timber struggled a bit again. I'm getting a bit concerned about this. I mean, Mosquera came on, and Mosquera looks a bit better. Maybe if Mosquera had a bit more time, could have been different. But Timber, I don't really know what's going on with him. And it was quite early that he got substituted off. But I didn't think Timber had a horrible game overall. I would give Timber a 6.5. Saliba, solid defensive performance. I didn't really feel any kind of concern when Saliba was on the ball. And I'm going to say the same for Gabriel as well. Maybe some people are going to argue that Gabriel should have headed the ball away when Tottenham supposedly scored their second goal. I disagree. I think when you push someone in the back like that, and you, whilst they're in motion, they're going to fall over. That was just stupid on Tottenham's behalf. Both Saliba and Gabriel, I am giving a 7. Hincapié, another solid performance from Hincapié. Generally, he might actually be replacing Calafiori at this rate. Unbelievable performance. We need to sign him on a permanent. He has been unbelievable. Hincapié, I'm going to give him a 7. Zubimendi. Now, Zubimendi had a decent game. Can't think of anything he did wrong. He did look like he was more willing to go forward now. More willing to take advantage of the space. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Rice, now this is going to be an interesting one because I don't think he had a bad game overall, but that one mistake could have been so costly. And I feel like if that mistake did cost us, I would have been a lot harsher in this. But overall, Rice had a good game. I'm going to give him a 6.5 just because of that mistake. And I'm sorry, but it was a bad mistake. Again, I probably would have been a lot harsher if we did drop points in this game. Eze, it really is between Eze and Gyökeres who's the man of the match. Now, at first, I was going to say Eze. When it was 3-1, I was thinking Eze has to be. He's got the 2 goals. He's absolutely run his socks off today. And he just loves a North London derby. Eze, I'm giving a 9. Saka played decently. I think some occasions I thought maybe he could have taken on, maybe played a bit more direct. But other than that, I don't have any real complaints. Saka, I'm giving a 7.5. And Gyökeres. Gyökeres had a performance. That's probably one of the best games I've seen him play. Maybe even the best. Gyökeres, I'm also giving a 9, and he's my man of the match. It would have been Eze until Gyökeres got that second goal. And finally, Trossard. And Trossard, he had a good game as well, to be fair. I thought when he was on the ball, he looked fairly threatening. Nothing to really add to that, that's crazy. But Trossard, again, a solid performance. I'm going to give Trossard a 7.5. Mikel Arteta, I'm not sure why he brought off Eze. I think I just don't like that because I thought Eze could have got a hat-trick in that. And Odegaard wouldn't really be the person I would have brought on. Maybe he was just thinking Odegaard's good for controlling the ball. And I mean, fair enough if that's the case, but Mosquera definitely changed the game. Madueke, I don't know what happened with Saka. Hopefully it's just a precaution. But I would have done that as well. And Martinelli, his pace could have made an even bigger margin. But not a bad game for Arteta. He seemed to get it right today. I'm going to give him a solid 8. The referee, he gets a 2. Poor performance from the referee. Need I say more? And the fans, it's a North London derby. And I heard Arsenal fans a lot longer than I heard Tottenham fans. The Arsenal fans are getting a 10. But anyways, that is my match review. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment. And please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for the match preview of Arsenal versus Chelsea. Goodbye for now.